The following may contain language which will be offensive to some people and inappropriate for children. Still here? Then pour your favorite beverage and let's get this fucking show started.
Fantastic Forum, assemble. You're watching Fantastic Forum, the premier show about comic books and your live weekly conversation about entertainment and geek culture. We are the Fantastic Forum coming to you live and direct from the Hall of F. Hope everyone a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, as the case may be, depending on where you are in the world. And if you're not, you stick with us. We'll take it up a notch. We have the usual suspects in the building. First, he is our riddle inside of an enigma, trapped in Chinese finger cuffs. You don't know him. Love him anyway. He's our silent assassin, Jay.
Hey, okay. I think I figured it out.
What conversation are you having, Jay?
I was mentioning that I couldn't hear the text messages. And I think I figured out why.
Oh, okay. I'm happy to hear it, Jay. Jay's like, okay, I figured it out. Like, okay. Got it. Next. He is our intrepid senior reporter. He's next in line for the cowl. He's our resident Dark Knight detective. It's Oz.
Anybody ever ask why in that opening it has all of us except for Jay, who's been replaced by Bane? Shrugging.
Yes, Lawrence did ask that when we first made it. And the reason I am not in it is because I have not recorded anything since we've started doing video. Like
Lies.
Huh?
Lies.
What have I done?
Like every show we do.
No, that doesn't count. Like everything from that intro is solo projects. That's one of Oz's unboxings. Lawrence is watching horror, Lawrence reaction video, and Mo was doing a side review where I think he was reviewing either something he liked or something he kickstarted. I don't remember, but it was his solo review.
Well,
so I haven't done any solo recording since we've started video.
We're gonna change that WonderCon.
Yeah, once I do, I can replace Bane with me.
I was hoping it was going to be something like, well, that may be Joe in that Bane mask. We don't know.
Yes. That buff white man is in fact Jay. There it is. Achievement unlocked, right? Like I got a freaking 1 experience point for figuring it out. Like, wait a minute, how do you know? All right. Now we're gonna film some stuff at WonderCon with just Jay, and then we're gonna be like, hey, take Bane out and put that guy in, Jay, or else.
No, I would have done it by now. I would have recorded by now, but my camcorder is super old. I'm fixing it.
Check. It's like we've never done this show before.
I just figured out why I wasn't hearing stuff, and now I can.
Now we hear everything.
Now we hear everything. It's like, wait a minute. Jay's like, oh, look, my phone's been on silent all day. Let me do the show and then go ahead and put it max volume. Damn it, Jay. It's okay. Shout out to Moses Magnum. He's having some technical difficulties, but we hope he will be here soon. The backbone, the pillar of Fantastic Forum. He'll be around. By the way, I'm Lawrence Young. They call me Mary Young. Welcome to Fantastic Forum. We got a great show for you today because we are going to be talking to you all about Shazam, Fury of the Gods, the new movie. And we're going to be talking to you about Superman and Lois, season 3, which just premiered just a couple weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken. So we got that happening, and of course, whatever else it is that you all want to talk about. So we'll tell you how it is that you can do that in just a moment. But before we do, we want to make sure that we thank Mr. Scott Rubin, because without him, this show would not have happened. So, hey, Scott, how are you? Hope you're doing well, man. Yeah. And dude, normally this would be where we would have the intern tell you about
get in
stuff.
on the action? Call Fantastic Forum on Skype and join the fun. Too shy to call in?
There we go.
That's okay. You can join the Discord chat room available at
fantasticforum.live.
Join the party. You know you want to.
Look at this. Good fortune abounds. The intern comes in. Moses is here, ladies and gentlemen.
It's
Moses
got the skydiving camera.
Yeah. I'm calling in from the round earth.
Look, you look like you're extreme podcasting. Like this, like if you told me you were in free fall as you were podcasting, I think I'd believe you. If I need your hair to blow a little bit, you just like
I'm on the space station.
You're on the space station. Okay, hey man, listen, I'm not mad at you. Welcome. We're just happy you're here, friend.
Put the ass in astronaut.
Okay, there it is. That's the new NASA slogan.
Because we're getting ready for WonderCon, I don't have like a camera to use other than the one I was using. Everything's at my storage at the shop, and for some reason, everything decided to go on the fritz. I don't know how long this will last, but we'll see.
I mean, you sound fine now, and
yeah,
it's not doing the thing that it was earlier.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I don't know what's up with that camera, but it's pissing me off because that's the one to do everything over there. So luckily I have spares, but you know, it's not about that. It's about the quality, you know.
Well,
like I can't move like.
That's pretty cool, though. I kind of like it. Like, I'm not bad at it. You should, when you do your solo content, you should do it like that.
Yeah, I did, but without the fisheye. I have a setup for that where everything is just on one arm, and but yeah, it's not a fisheye camera, but it's what I have here right now.
There it is. All right. Well, once again, thanks to the intern. Appreciate you. And do what she says, fantasticforum.live, if you want to be on the show, be the coveted 5th member of Fantastic Forum. And we will go ahead, you know, if you want to call in. I mean, no, I told you that. If you want to chat, you can go to Twitch or YouTube chat. And yeah, we will take your comments directly out of chat and bring them into the show, such as Jay. Insert a witty chat comment here, man.
Tiger Claw says, "What's up, Fantastic Forum? Any plans on reviewing any of the TMNT comics in the future? They have a bunch of them around the whole Armageddon game storyline."
That's a good question, Tiger Claw.
I am actually planning on reading TMNT and getting current, but that is going to take a little bit.
I'm like, get current. Like TMNT is like at like 150 or something, right?
I don't know.
More than that, but the beauty of it is that they are like broken up by arcs, so it's easy to
you could jump in.
You know where to jump in, even if you want to work like move forward and then go backwards. You can do it.
When did Krang get a crocodile body?
Man, listen.
After the Crocodile Wars.
TMNT's at issue 138, says Tiger Claw. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, I haven't been keeping up, but last I saw, I felt like, yeah, it was well into the hundreds, 138. That feels very right. So yeah, Jay, I don't know, man.
Now that I'm current with Sonic, I can work on TMNT.
Or counterpoint, Jay, we can up at the beginning of an arc, whatever the latest arc is, and then do that, and then you could go back and fill in all the gaps.
How is he going to know what's going on if he doesn't start at the beginning?
If it's good comics, he'll be able to jump in.
Yeah, why are you discouraging him from reading 138 books?
I'm not discouraging him from reading the books. I am saying what I'm doing is encouraging a particular order.
Right.
Because
But if you start
Jay.
at if
You
you
know
start
Jay
at
like
the
I
end,
know Jay.
if you
Jay
start
will
at
mess
the
around and
end,
tell us you
aren't you
can't.
spoiling the arcs that came before?
He could do the 138 in like 2 weeks. See, Larry died, man.
Oh no, I'm here. I'm sorry. Did I die? Did I go away?
You froze a
You
little
did.
bit for me.
Damn it! Why am I freezing all of a sudden?
You're good now. You're good now.
Okay. Anyway, but what I'm saying is, yeah. Look, I know Jay reads fast, and when he puts his mind to it, he gets through stuff. But why try to put yourself through all that when you don't have to? When we could just do whatever the current arc is together, give our opinion, and then Jay can even fill us in on his thoughts on TMNT as he's reading through the rest of it leisurely.
If look, you guys know, if you wanted to read Ninja Turtles and review it, I would be down. But I feel like I'm the only one who would suggest it. And so, yeah. So, like, if it's the order I want to read, like, if I'm the only one trying to review Ninja Turtles, then I'll probably just do it the order that I'm reading in. And now, if you guys are like, hey, we need to review this Armageddon game, yeah, I'll go out of order and read it and review it with you guys.
No,
But I don't think any of you are doing that.
no, we're good.
Tiger Claw is.
Oh, our boss?
Our one, look, the chairman of the board, Tiger Claw.
Yeah.
Look,
Tiger Claw Murdoch.
Right, exactly. Tiger Claw, who's the person that gets all of our residuals.
I was just waiting to finish Sonic so I could jump into Ninja Turtles.
Okay.
I already read the first omnibus, which was pretty good.
Ninja Turtles?
Yeah.
Oh,
I read that a few weeks back.
So what does that go up to? What number? You had to guess. You have to give me exact.
They should go to like 40 or 50.
I think it was like 6, but then there were like 12 individuals. Like, I think there were like 12 extra stories that aren't numbered. Like, they were like specials.
So you feel like it's 6 comics?
Like 12.
Oh, it's got to be more than
Okay.
that.
Yeah, like not for an omnibus. That would have to be just
like I said, I don't really know.
Okay. Right. Okay. Yeah, well, still. Yeah. So I guess the answer to your question is Tiger Claw coming soon. Like we're gonna get to it because we Ninja Turtle comics.
I mean, is pretty tight. I like her. She's an Arctic fox.
Oh wow, he's right. The IDW collection, Volume 1, is the first 12 issues.
Oh, see,
the omnibus.
Let me research this.
I'm happy to see that Tiger Claw's been buying those IDW ones because, being a shareholder as we are. Because, Jay, you're a shareholder too, right? Like, we were going to the meeting in July.
Mm-hmm.
There's Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I don't know. Is that the same thing? It's got a cover that has the original Eastman and Laird looking art.
It's probably reprints.
Yeah, Omnibus Volume 1. This one says it's issues 1 through 7 of the original series, Tales of the TMNT, and issues 1 through 8 of the 2004 relaunch. So that might not even be it either.
I think.
Yeah.
Like the one I have has Raphael on the cover because the entire first omnibus is about Raphael.
Yeah, that's the IDW collection. It's kind of like not like cute Raphael, but like gritty.
Right.
Yeah, that's the that's the first 12 issues.
Okay. Yeah, I was right.
I don't know. Maybe
Plus the Raphael, Michelangelo, Donatello, Leonardo, and Splinter micro series one shots. So yeah, 12. It's about 18 bucks.
Michelangelo one was pretty dope. I like that one. He like gets involved with the jewel heist.
Okay, so about 18 bucks is a
at
little bit better than
costume
12.
party.
Sweet. All right, cool.
But for real, that's Sonic.
All right.
We should definitely review Sonic on the show at some point.
You want to do the whole omnibuses? Omnibus?
Yeah, I was thinking one of the Starline arcs, like either Bad Guys or Imposter Syndrome. It's like 4 issues, and they're really good.
Is it better than the movie?
Much. Yeah.
Is it better than Detective Pikachu?
Then what?
Is it better than Detective Pikachu?
Yeah. Yeah, both of those are better than Detective Pikachu.
Lawrence has never seen Detective Pikachu, whatever.
And I like Detective Pikachu.
Tiger Claw put a link to our affiliate link for Amazon so that you can buy the 14-book
You
series.
can get another royalty check.
Yeah. He set up our affiliate link and it goes straight to his bank account. That's why I look like I'm in a fishbowl.
Oh, that's too funny. All right, we should go ahead and get on with a couple of these topics then. What do you all want to talk about first?
Shazam is the bigger one. We should talk about that.
All right.
All right. Shazam.
Do we have movie music?
I don't have the movie. I have the TV and the comic book review.
Okay. Let me do the movie review.
Comic book theater. Comic book theater.
It makes it feel good on the inside. Yeah. Thank you, Tiger Claw. Appreciate you. All right. Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Oz.
Yes.
Why don't you tell the people what this movie's about then? Oh, and just, there's gonna be some spoilers ahead, folks. So maybe just wait until if you care about spoilers, maybe wait until after that Chiron goes off. But more likely than not, you'll be fine. So, Oz, tell the people about Shazam, Fury of the Gods, please.
It's Shazam 2.
The end.
How much
Yeah,
how
so
much did it make?
ooh. I should look that up.
Mo's like, what was the box office return? Dude, you know it's low, Moses.
I just want to gloat and be happy and
you know it's low,
and play
Moses.
this button.
It's at 366 million.
360. Really? People actually went to see it after the fact.
Why?
Let me see. That might be worldwide though.
That might be the first one.
That could be the first one, right? No, is that not the first one?
Oh,
Did the second one do that?
Yeah, no, Google effed me. Let's see. Domestic, it's 34. Worldwide. International, it's 34, so it's at 68.
Yeah.
Say what?
It's only 68 million.
Total, worldwide.
Yeah.
Worldwide. Yeah, that feels more right.
They made
Yeah.
not adjusted
But-
for inflation.
So Oz, just like tell the people what the movie was about. Like for those like, cause like look, Mo, you didn't see it, right?
Fuck no, I didn't see it.
But
Well,
Jay, you
that's
got
why I
to
didn't
check
make
it
any
out.
money.
Yeah.
Check it out, right?
I'm sorry, say that again there?
Jay, I'll say Jay, you saw it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the #1 movie, if that counts.
It actually did beat that Demon Slayer movie though, huh?
Yeah, but the Demon Slayer movie is way down.
Oh, you know, a movie like that didn't get any promotion, just like Shazam didn't get promotion.
Stop this though.
It beat Scream, Creed, and 65.
Yeah. Yeah. Creed in its what, like in its month, week, or I mean in its
Creed is in its second week.
Okay.
How did Scream do?
17. So Shazam beat it like almost double.
Oh, I'm sad. I wish it would have done worse.
Oh, Creed
So
is in
what-
week 3. Yeah. So yeah,
what's the movie?
Shazam. It's Shazam 2, and the Daughters of the God Atlas. Something happens that releases them, and they're mad that the god's powers have been given to mortals because Shazam,
Yeah.
whatever, Hercules and all that.
Yeah.
And so they want to get it back, and that's while that's going on, Shazam Billy Batson is struggling with being a leader for this new group of superheroes and dealing with abandonment issues. Apparently, like he's worried they're gonna leave him like everybody else, like the audiences that came to see this movie.
Or didn't.
They went to buy the ticket and then abandoned him
That's
before
like
they paid.
it's not abandonment if we never came in the first place.
Can I ask you real quick? Because I mean, I know, like, other than what the premise is, like, really, like, there's nothing much. I mean, the premise itself actually feels like more of a Shazam, Captain Marvel type story, which is why I felt a little excited when I first saw the promotion. Like 2 years ago. But then it's like, this looks better than what the first one was, and then you see Zachary Levi talking, and he's got even less muscles than the first movie. And I'm like, yeah, it's not gonna happen. But Helen Mirren and all the other actresses playing those Daughters of Atlas, like, to me, I was like, man, this is like Captain Marvel I would want to watch, except without Zachary Levi, But it's just, yeah. Was it better? I guess what I'm trying to get at is, was it better than the first one story wise?
Story-wise, I think so. Honestly, to your point, the commercials for it do it no justice, and Zachary Levi is still not a good option for this character. Like, he is the worst thing in this movie. The kid is a great Billy Batson. The whole rest of the family actually does a really good job, especially Mary, who actually takes more of a leadership role in this movie, does a really good job. Helen Mirren, Lucy Liu, and fake ass Supergirl. Well, she didn't really get the part, so that doesn't count. The Daughters of Atlas, they all do a good job. They're all great. The visual effects look good. Even the costumes look better than the first one. The dude was fluffy in the first one. They all were, and they look a lot better in this one. The interaction between the family, especially Freddie Freeman and Billy Batson, and that what's going on between them, is great. There's a lot of good things in this movie until Zachary Levi opens his mouth. And then it just gets dumb. Like he's still like somebody just told him he's playing a kid. So that's what he did. And you could see it, and it doesn't quite work when you compare it with how Billy Batson is. And in fact, the other kids who are in some cases younger than him, the way they act, it doesn't. Zachary Levi does not work for this movie. And here's the thing: that's the exact same thing I said for the first one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But the like story wise and visual effects wise and even acting wise around him, this is better than the first one. You know, it's not. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's an amazing movie, Academy Award, or whatever. It's mindless fun at the theater. Like you sit down, you turn off your brain, have some popcorn and beer, and have a good time for a couple hours.
And I can't be mad at that, even for from reading Captain Marvel and Shazam comics. I was like, that's kind of what that is. Like that's why, you know, in the 30s and 40s it outsold Superman, because it was like Superman not taking itself as seriously, and it's a kid, you know, that changes body with another being, a paradimensional being, for lack of a better word. And you know, and that was, you know, yeah, but you know, it's a shame, because I would have loved to see both of these, if you know.
It also,
if Zachary Levi had muscles.
It also points out something that I think we've mentioned before when they changed him from Captain Marvel to Shazam. Is it points out that it's kind of dumb that his name is the word of power, because if he introduces himself, like he's gonna automatically change, right?
Yeah,
like he can't say his own name to other people.
Yeah,
like because they never imply that you have to say it a certain way,
yeah,
or with certain intention. It just that you just have to say it and it happens.
Like any villain can outsmart him. It's like, what's your name again?
Now, Jay, what did you think of it?
Oh, I thought it was really good. Like, I don't like Mary Marvel's costume, but aside from that, oh, and that one kid was kind of annoying, but I think that he's like supposed to be. But I actually really enjoyed it. Like, I thought it was good.
Which kid is the annoying kid? There's like
the cripple.
Freddie Freeman.
Freddie Freeman.
The cripple.
Captain
he has a name, Jay. He has a name.
Captain
I can't remember all of their names.
Okay. So, but he was annoying. But other than that, you like
me. But I get he's supposed to be that way. Like, I found him annoying, but I guess most people were fine with it. But yeah, like, I thought it was good. Like, I thought it was better than the first one, even though I do kind of, I did like the dude as a villain. Can't remember his name. Savannah.
Dr. Savannah, yeah.
Yeah.
I just thought he was a little too handsome, but other than that, he's a good actor.
Mm-hmm. But I like the Daughters of Atlas too. And I like how like people were like reacting to them dating, like her and the cripple, what's Freddie Freeman or whatever, them dating, which was like funny to me.
What was the reaction people were having to them dating?
Oh, they get squicked out because she's so much older than him. She's like a pedophile because she's 6,000 and he's like 17.
Yeah, they're like cheering on his relationship at first because it's the young girl, and then when she says I'm 6,000 years old, everybody's like, oh, wait a minute, this just got weird. Like they even say it loud. This just got weird.
Yeah, he was in foster care. That's not the strangest thing he's done.
But I mean, there was like an audible reaction in the theater, like, which I found funny.
Oh, there are people in your theater? I must have been.
Yeah, my theater was like probably at 2/3 capacity.
Wow.
Like, I thought the movie was doing good, like judging by like how many people were in it when I saw it. And I saw it at an awkward time, like the first show Saturday morning.
That's interesting. Yeah, no, there weren't a lot of people there when I went to go see it either, but I went like Tuesday or Monday.
Well, Lawrence, what do you think about it? Since you love everything that says Marvel.
That's hilarious. Well, before I get into it, let me just do this from Tiger Claw real quick. Says Shazam: Fear of the Gods is pretty good. I enjoyed it, but I don't think they'll do a third one given that James Gunn is now in control and how he kind of glossed over the movie during his announcement. I just want to put that out there so we can refer back to that later.
Apparently there's a lot of internal turmoil going on with this movie that I just found out about, with like The Rock and
wait, The Rock?
Yeah.
We'll actually get to that a little later because that's part of the segment. Like, because we posted, like, I know you posted some articles in our Discord. I know I posted, and everybody has an excuse for the failure, and they're all really weird. And one of those is that I read was the Rock thing too. And now I'm like, nah, I just want to sit and compare all these.
Okay, yeah, we'll get to it. We'll get to it then. So, I will say that I enjoyed this movie a lot more than I thought I would have. Like, and I do agree with you, Oz. Like, I feel like the commercials don't do it any justice. Like, it looks like a much worse movie from like the trailers than it actually ends up being. But again, I think I'm with you too in the sense that, like, I don't even know if I can say it's a good movie. You know, it's better, I think, than the first one, but that's a low bar to clear. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like, and the sad fact of the matter is that there's a lot of pieces of this movie that are really good, and you can see like the bones of a really great story, but it just doesn't come together for me, unfortunately. But a lot of the positives that you mentioned, Oz, especially, like, we were right there on the same page. Like, I was like, the story overall, I think, is a better story. Mary Marvel, I think, was definitely a standout, and that made me that was one of the things where I was like, man, like, even a story between, like, if you had, like, you know, the kids, like, if you had a story that was focused on Billy Batson and Mary and those kids' relationship, and then also kind of primarily focused on Captain Marvel and Mary Marvel, like, that could have been a really good movie, I think, even with the people that are in it, despite the fact that Levy is just terrible. Well, like, it's just so weird. Huh?
All the best scenes are the ones that Levi isn't in. Like, I really love that when Freddie Freeman goes through the mind control thing. Like, that was pretty badass. I love that scene.
Yeah, no, 100%. And it's so funny and weird to see because, like, obviously, you know, Shazam is the main character of the movie, like Billy Batson's Shazam, right? But, and this is the same, like you said, the same criticism from the last movie, where it's like, there's no part of the kid that plays Billy Batson. You don't, like, that kid is doing one completely different performance, and Zachary Levi's doing a completely different performance. Where it's like, there's no point where those two people seem like they are the same person, you know? And it's so weird to see because everybody else is doing that. Like, Freddie Freeman, and I don't even know what Freddie Freeman's alter ego is called in the comics.
Power.
No, see, in the comics,
right? Or not, Captain Marvel Jr.
Okay, there you go. So But right, he calls himself Captain Every Power in this, which is
Because that was
terrible
the joke when he calls himself Captain Every Power and calls Shazam Captain Every Power Junior, is because
Ah, see, I didn't even pick up on that.
yeah, exactly, because it wasn't funny. It was stupid,
right? Right, but those two characters definitely seem like the same person. You know what I mean? Like when he's in that alter ego, you definitely feel like, oh man, like this is what happened. Like this is the kid, and he acts different and when he has his powers, but he acts different when he has his powers because he's free. You know what I'm saying? Like he feels like he doesn't have his disability, and he feels different, even though since he's gotten the powers, he feels better about himself, even when he's not in superhero form, which is cool too. You know what I mean? But it's really interesting that
Uncle
you
Every
can see
Power?
that. Huh?
Uncle Every Power?
Captain.
No, but that's Captain Every Power, and then Captain Every Power Junior is Uncle Every Power in it.
Oh no!
There was another
I was a
Uncle
little upset that twice they teased me with the Tawny. They actually have a kitten named Tawny. Never get my tiger.
Look, but that's another example too. Like
Right, the
Megan.
I forget that young girl. I forget her character name. Well, I forget all. Yeah, her as a little kid, same person as the superpower one. Like, oh, kitten,
Right.
like just leaves
Right.
the
Right. Like there's definitely like a through line. And I'm just like, dude, like it doesn't make any sense that every other actor and kid duo in this movie does that except for the main person. Like it's very strange. And yeah, like it's just like there's definitely parts of it. Like the other thing that I agreed with 100% with you, Oz, was the special effects were really good. And I was just like, man, like there's a lot of like creature work that happens that I thought was really good. They have that dragon that's you see in the trailers. Like that dragon, it has a prominent role and looks great throughout the whole movie. Like even just small things, like the way that everybody like flies in and out, and when they use their super speed and things like that, like which are things that you would think at this point we all can just take for granted because there's so much like super. Like you would think there'd be effects houses that's all they do, right? Is that superhero stuff. But as we know, like they don't all look that great. Sometimes it looks a little wobbly or weird. You know what I'm saying? And this, like a lot of the flying away and landing and like people floating look really very natural. And I was like, man, like to the point where I was like, dude, like I was impressed by it. So, those were the good things. But I feel like the messed up part was that, you have like Helen Mirren and you have like Lucy Liu, and it's like they do what they do, you know what I'm saying? Like, but like it's not a knock on them. They work with what they have, and they do a good job with it. But at the end of the day, it's not great writing for those characters, and like they elevated it, but it's still not anything to write home about. It's like I feel like those villains, they're a little one dimensional, and there's little twists here and there, but it's not anything that's like ground shaking or anything like that. It's just like it could have been a really good movie, but it just it just wasn't.
Well, the thing is, it was doomed from the beginning. Like they had a movie that did what it did, and they thought it was okay, and then they get overzealous. But then they're a little more free to experiment with more of the a little more out there Shazam, Captain Marvel stuff, like the Daughters of Atlas. I think if they would have started with like the Secret Monster Society of Evil, like it would have been a little weird. Like even like Savannah, like they had to make him handsome to put him in this movie. So like, but yeah, really, like from what I'm hearing, it's really like Levy. Like he's not afraid of people leaving him. He's afraid of being Levy. Nah, he's not. I don't know. Like I don't know how you cast a perfect Captain Marvel. I know how you do a characterization, and it's like there's a little kid, and he swaps bodies and gets swaps stages with like an adult that is powerful, and they share consciousness. Like that's it. You know.
Like this joint would have been like this same movie probably would have been 10 times better if it was like John Hamm. You know? Yeah. Like John Hamm would have acted like the kid does, like Billy Batson does, and it would have been great, and he still would have been able to like come across like he's a kid trapped inside of a grown man body.
I think it would have been much better. I think it would have worked out even better because when you think of John Hamm, like when he does something that seems childish, it's gonna have more impact than Levi, who we expect to be childish.
And that's the thing, is like he looks childish. He doesn't look like a grown man, you know. And then but we get like a John Hamm, and he'll like some of those lines. Like I didn't watch the movie, but I know like the line with the Fast and the Furious that I saw, even though they say that it wasn't promoted well, I saw at the beginning of every YouTube video for the last 3 months.
Crazy.
That line, like having John Hamm deliver that line would have played better. And it's a line I hate because it has Fast and the Furious in
it. Which also 100%. Mirren, didn't it? Wasn't she in one of those?
I don't know.
One of the Fast and Furious? I mean, at this point, I'm pretty sure Jay is in one of the Fast and Furious movies too. Right, Jay?
Well, you said who?
Helen Mirren.
So he said he's in 4.
He was in Hobbs and Shaw.
He's in Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah.
With Shaw's mom.
Really?
Yeah. Hobbs and Shaw is good. Go watch Hobbs and Shaw.
No, I'm not saying it's not good. I'm just saying that like I'm like everyone has been in the Fast and Furious movie at this point. Like, you know, we talk about MCU and how many people are in that joint, but I feel like Fast and Furious has just as many people in it and has had like half as many movies. So it's crazy.
Yeah. You know what I hate is one of the things I hate about this movie is the people talking about it like they couldn't, like the news people, the morning news people couldn't figure out what went wrong, why it underperformed. And because you know, we have a sticker in our merch shop. You have shirts that say "Read fucking comics," because that'll tell you what fucked it up, you know. But you know, I can't yell at the TV every minute. But but they're like these fucking morons that they got now on Channel 11. They got them, you know. They had a big shakeup. Tony McEwing retired, and then that desk team, like, they just put on the back burner, and they got these new younger people that I guess used to be on Access Hollywood. Now they're doing the morning news anchor duties, and you know, they're like, I think people just don't like all these sequels. It's just too many sequels. The day before, they were talking about how all of them are excited for Fast and the Furious 10 and how successful these sequels are. And I'm like, you fucking morons. Like, which is it? You know, like, they're counting on morons watching them, but I'm holding them accountable. Like, I'm listening to every word you say, even though you're fucking morons. I got to do something when I'm putting on my socks.
As we did mention, the box office wasn't great for this joint. So, you know,
how much was it?
In 60 million worldwide so far is what you said, Oz?
I knew he was going to do that.
I was trying to record myself in the bathroom laughing maniacally, but I didn't get a chance to really edit it. So I'm stuck with Larry's laugh.
Love it.
See, look, Tire Clock could have been the morning news anchor. Because that's the type of stupid shit they said there, too. Maybe stupid, the fatigue is setting in. Fuck you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I bring it back up just because. Look, what I wanted us to talk about it since we did, put some stories into our Discord and whatnot. Like, what were some of the prevailing theories in regards to why it is that this movie didn't do well at the box office or hasn't done well at the box office? And, what do you all think? Like, what is it that actually really hurt this movie?
Well,
So,
according to Zachary Levy, he had two theories. He said the promotional aspect wasn't there. It wasn't promoted properly. Which, like, I go back to what I said, 8 minutes before, which was that every YouTube video for the last 3 months, I had to watch 5 seconds of that fucking movie with his stupid fucking joke about Fast and the Furious. And if that's not good promotion, I don't know what the fuck is. They get 5 seconds. I know I don't want to watch this fucking movie. You're already promoting it too much. His other theory was that it was the Zack Snyder fans are mad and they're not coming out. But, we found out the Zack Snyder fans are actually bots on Twitter. Now that Lord Elon, we found out they were 60% of them were bots. They're the same Morbius fans that brought it back 3 times and didn't go through, So, we found that out now. I don't know why Zachary Levy brings that up, but from his take, I think the real problem is his fake muscles. His fake muscles just made this movie suck. Like, they're not even like. At least the Superman and Lois guy, like, he's got muscles, and his suit has like coloring to make it accentuate muscles, and then the lighting fixes the coloring. Like, if you look behind the scenes pictures, like, oh, that shit's all painted on. But when you see it, when he's talking to the characters in the suit, it looks like it's light reflecting off. It's like they're doing a good job with that. That's what you call visual effects. I respect that almost as much as I respect real muscles. But no, this fucking Zachary Levy muscle suit sucks. Like, he looks like one of those chicks with really big titties, where you got the titty meat there, but there's a gap because the titty meat is so big and floppy that the strap, and there's a gap between the strap. That's exactly how that collar looks on him in that first fucking movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There it is. Oz, what were you gonna say? What do you think?
Oh, I was to Mo's point on the promotion that he's saying he saw it a lot, but there's a lot of promotion. It just wasn't good.
Right. Oh, so you're saying it's not the amount of promotion, it's the quality of the promotion.
Yeah, a lot of this, I watched a lot of the same ads, and they made me not want to watch the movie. I think we both said the movie was better than the ads. My biggest theory, at least what I've heard, people talking about why they weren't going to see it, is because to them it doesn't mean anything because it's not going to be part of the new DC universe now that James Gunn's taken over. And
I mean, does that have to be? It has to be connected in order.
Apparently, look, that was my same comment to a lot of people. It's like, oh, so you won't watch a movie unless it's part of a giant franchise?
Oz, you got those stickers, man? Slap it in their fucking face. Read fucking comics. I read Shazam: Power of Hope by Alex Ross, prestige format. It's not part of the main continuity. One of the best comic books I've ever read in my life. Yeah.
That was good stuff. Yeah.
Jay hates it because it's Alex Ross, but I think he'd like that. If the shit's like this big.
You remember those, right, Jay? Like when Alex Ross did the books, like for all he did one for basically almost every DC, like main DC character. So he did so he did one.
It was probably when he was in the Navy.
Yeah, but that's the that's what I've been hearing, and a lot of those same people are saying that they're probably not gonna watch any more DC movies until the Flash movie comes out because that's supposed to reset everything. So theoretically,
the Flash is the next one, right?
I think Aquaman comes out before. Maybe doesn't it? I don't know.
I don't know. I thought Flash came out next, but I could be wrong. Man, that's interesting.
So I'm pretty sure
Jay.
the Aquaman movie will do better than Shazam, just because you've got more Jason Momoa fans than you have Zachary Levi fans.
Oh, he's got real muscles.
Yeah, but it's also got that chick that shit the bed.
No, but she's being replaced by Bruce Campbell.
I wish.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
There was a change.org to get Bruce Campbell to do her parts.
And then I think it competed with somebody wanting her to be CGI'd out and replaced with King Shark. And then I think the third one was, because that one also did very well, is replaced by King Shark, voiced by Bruce Campbell.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a winner.
A King Shark. I want to see King Shark as Bruce Campbell as King Shark in the Harley Quinn cartoon. I'll do that.
Oh, but Devin Funches is so good.
Yeah, but it gives him room to do something better.
Oh, see, look, there it is. We're like, oh,
opportunity.
Take a job away from that black man. You'll get a better job. Okay. Look, you know who needs work? Bruce Campbell.
Yeah. You know what this white guy wants to see on TV? Bruce Campbell.
Jay, what have you been hearing in regards to why the movie hasn't been doing well, and you have any thoughts on what you think the issue was?
Well, I did put a story in Discord. It actually wasn't referring to the performance. It was mostly just like behind the scenes turmoil and stuff. And it basically talked about Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, kind of wanting to be like the center of attention. So like there was a lot of things like he wouldn't do Shazam, and he wouldn't let any characters from Shazam from Black Adam be in Shazam, which is why you get the Peacekeeper dude at the post-credit scene instead of dude the Hawkman. And yeah, there was like a couple of things like just talking about him and kind of his ego, and he didn't want to be the bad guy, and just like all these things like terms and conditions he was putting on Black Adam and Shazam. I found it interesting.
So
I'm really in the behind the scenes type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So The Rock essentially, if this story is true, worked really hard for 10 years to play the role of a character and not do anything that character is known for.
I actually believe it. Yeah, I believe it from The Rock because The Rock. Yeah. Here's the thing: The Rock hasn't been successful in launching his own franchise. He's been successful in jumping onto other franchises. This would have been his, so I can see why he would wanted more control and more reimagination of the character. If he wanted this to be the franchise, like it's his legacy at this point, because it's the only movie that would have had like any lasting power, because he didn't work well. I mean, shit, he almost ruined the Fast and Furious franchise with his ego, right? Like, because he couldn't get along with Vin Diesel.
The Rock, or is that Vin Diesel?
Well, it's both. It's the same clashing. Like one has way too many muscles and is threatened by the guy with no muscles, and the guy with no muscles is threatened by the guy with muscles.
They're the same guy with different levels of chemicals in their body.
Look, they didn't need to have a cock off. Like they just put that in whoever
But see, here's the thing though. In my mind, and don't get me wrong, maybe this is me, just living in my own world.
But
here, right?
I can stop you right now. Mind. These fucking meatheads don't have a fucking mind. They're fucking morons, and they made money on people looking at.
The Rock is not a moron.
He hasn't read any Captain Marvel books.
Yeah, Yeah.
Well, no, listen, I'm not saying he has any knowledge of Captain or any knowledge of Captain Marvel or Shazam. Like, if he wanted Shazam and his legacy in that particular role to really be lasting, he would be playing it 100%, like 100% a villain, but definitely more villain.
We could have had Black Mary.
Right, like it would have been basically almost like the Joker, but with powers, like that kind of movie, which that's not what they did.
Now that Mo has said that, I actually, looking back at his career, I see that. Like, I see that this isn't the first
Mo was
time.
100% correct.
Scorpion King was supposed to be a villain.
Yeah.
And when that movie came out,
Was a villain.
Dude was a hero.
And then that movie it ruined the Mummy. Like they couldn't do any more Mummy movies after that.
And that's the whole thing. This is what I'm saying. Like, The Rock, in and of himself, but you're right in the sense that he doesn't have, like, he's not a franchise guy, but not everybody that is a movie star is a franchise person. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay. So it's like
it's okay, but it's not okay to him. That's what he wants, and that's why he's ruining these other things.
I get it. Like he believes that he should be one. Like The Rock looks at people like Stallone and Schwarzenegger, and he wants to be like the modern day version of one of those guys, and he hasn't achieved that yet. And I agree with you, but he is like a superstar, and especially considering like when you put I get where Vin Diesel would come from, where he's like, hey, this is my franchise, which is true. It is his franchise.
Yeah.
But Vin Diesel isn't a bigger star than The Rock is. And so you can't if The Rock, I don't think The Rock was like, hey, I want to be in Fast and the Furious. I think somebody approached The Rock about being in a Fast and Furious movie, and he decided to do it, but he's just like, hey, treat me with the respect I'm due. And Vin Diesel's like, well, hey, you're in my house, treat me with the respect that I'm due. And it's like, that's where the clash comes in.
He did 4. He did for like 4 Fast and Furious movies. I think it's actually 5. But he
if
did.
You count Hobbs and Shaw, it's 5.
Did you say The Rock?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm saying, like, I don't.
Obviously, he doesn't care about family. But I also do think he is at the point of his life where he feels like he needs to leave a legacy, and that's
time's running out. Like the roids aren't. I mean, well,
that's why you got the XFL.
Yeah, luckily these stem cell researches are coming in the next 2 years. We're gonna have so he could still work until he's 80, but he doesn't see. If he's not thinking about that, then he's like, time's running out for him.
No, The Rock doesn't have anything to prove. Like, The Rock is already, like, he already has a certain legacy that's solidified in 2 different arenas. Don't get me wrong, he doesn't have the franchise yet. That's true. Yeah,
but that's what
I get that's what I get it. But what he wants.
So if you have everything but not what you want, you have nothing. Like, you don't know narcissism.
No, see, that's how crazy people think.
That's what I'm saying. He thinks like a crazy person.
And I love to say, you don't have, like, you can't say it like it's fact. You might believe that.
No, look, it's fact to me. I'm a crazy person too.
Okay, well, hey, it's just not the case. It's like, dude, like, The Rock has a legacy in wrestling alone that will outlive him.
Yeah.
And then he also has a number of movies that he's done that people love, and like, it's like the dude is a movie star. So it's like, like literally, if The Rock decided to not act another day in his life and decided he wanted to just do like a talk show or something, he could probably do that and be great at that too. And that would be that could be the whole thing. And be the
require him to listen to somebody he talks to. I don't think he's a good listener.
You don't think The Rock can listen? I don't know.
I think he can pretend to listen, but I don't think he's a good listener. No, absolutely. Like, he's too self-involved. Like, you don't get muscles like that if you're a good listener. Larry, you're the best listener I know.
Well, thank you for saying that. Like, I wish I had some muscles.
You have to be self-absorbed. To get a body like that, you have to be self-absorbed. It has to come first before anything, the self, the body, the will,
Yeah.
it has to connect in a way that where you have to lock out everybody.
I'm gonna
Around
stop
you.
listening to you sons of bitches so I can get
No,
muscles.
but that's it. That's just what it is. Look, I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it doesn't hurt other people, but that's what it is. It's like if your goal is that your car could be getting broken into, your sister could be getting killed, but if it's your workout time, it's your fucking workout time.
Well, I will say this. I don't know Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yeah.
But from what I've seen, I don't think he's that person.
Well,
You can tell what Dwayne Johnson talk show would look like if you watch Young Rock, where the journalist Randall Park is like trying to ask him questions, and The Rock just goes into the story that goes on for half an hour.
Yeah. And but look, even in that scenario, like somebody's asking him the questions. If he has to come up with the questions, I don't think he has what it takes to come up with the right questions. I don't think he has the wherewithal to even empathize with somebody else to just be like, okay, nod while they're talking, like a talking head. He's a self-absorbed person, and that's fine. It's got him where he's at, and that's why he can't do the franchise. Because a franchise requires you to work well with a bunch of other people, and he's too self-absorbed.
Right, family.
There it is. So all that to say, Jay thinks the movie would have done better if they had better promotion. Right, Jay?
You what?
Don't put that in Jay's mouth.
Like Jay agrees. No, no. I was just saying all that to say that Jay thinks that the movie would have done better if it had better promotion, but you didn't actually say that, Jay. I was just making a joke. I'm sorry.
No, I think it is. I think a lot of it is probably because everyone knows it's about the universe is about to get reset.
I thought you were going to say, because everybody knows it's all about family. That's what I thought you were going to say. I was like, damn it, Jay, that's so good. You didn't say that. I'm sorry. I was like, I think everybody knows that it's all about family. But look, it's so interesting that would be the case, because I definitely understand, like, say, from the Marvel side of things, I understand, like, there are people that are going to go see these movies, even the ones that don't look that good, just because they're like, well, I just want to make sure I don't miss a piece of the story.
But these are also the same people that watch fucking Gotham and Arrow, and they're not part of the same universe, like.
And I just don't, like, in my mind, it's like, don't get me wrong, I like things connecting because I like comics, and that's what comics do. But I like one shots too. I like Elseworld stuff too. So I'm just like,
Black Label.
Right. So I'm just like, if it's going to be good or something that you might enjoy, why don't you go enjoy
Part of the reason we enjoy these fucking movies is because we read comics, and it's like, okay, this is like an Elseworld.
Yeah, but these days you gotta say that a lot.
You're right. So, what else do you have to say about Shazam: Fury of the Gods? Anybody got any final thoughts before we move around and start rating?
One of the articles I did see was like that the director is like leaving it. He's like, yeah, I just I got tired of working on superhero films or some shit. Yeah, like, yeah, well, you got stuck with this, like, that's why. yeah. The Russos were like, yeah, we're just gonna ride this train until they don't want us. Yeah, but yeah, so it's good. Like, but like the director, I'm sure he did his thing and he did it. And, like, he was hindered by working with DC shit. Yeah, so
yeah. Like, I just, I feel bad because it's just like, and honestly, like, in my mind, it's like Zachary Levi. Is it Zachary? Is his name Zachary Levi?
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I'm sure that's what it is.
Look, he sunk this franchise. Like he's the reason why this joint is like really not good. Like it's not like it's like it would be great without him, but it would at least be passable. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like, especially considering like he's like the guy that's on the screen the majority of the time, and it's just like I don't know who looked at this guy and said, "Oh yeah, that's our Captain Marvel or that's our Shazam." Like I don't know who did that. I don't know how many people that decision went through and people signed off on it. Like, yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. But it was like it's such a like it doesn't. It's one of the strangest casting in comic book movies from as far as I'm concerned. Like like even
Like he
Jessica Alba's Invisible Woman makes more sense to me than
he could have just played
as
Billy Batson as like the little boy, and then somebody else played Captain Marvel.
He can't be in the movie at all. Like there's no part like, and I'm not even saying like he's terrible to be acting or anything like that. I'm just saying he doesn't fit just for this in particular. Like it's not that good. He's such a bad. I'm not saying he is, but I'm saying there's probably a place for him in Hollywood somewhere. But this is such a bad fit that it's like it's crazy that
where he's gonna be good at. He's gonna be good at Dancing with the Stars or like The Masked Singer. That's where he's gonna shine.
That's sad.
Maybe Big Brother, Celebrity Big Brother.
Oh, he was Chuck.
Yeah, that's probably the only thing he ever did that was if you could call it good, but it wasn't that good. The show's fucking stupid.
I mean, Chuck's not bad.
No, it's pretty bad. It's like the Geek Squad guy becomes a spy, but the real spy is the hot chick, and he has and then he saves the day.
I mean, look, it's dated, yeah, but
it's dated like the 50s. That's some Maxwell Smart shit.
Okay, sure. I like to get smart too. So
yeah, if they remade Get Smart, it wouldn't be like Chuck.
Oh, it wouldn't. Yeah,
actually, kind of was the movie.
Anything else?
Annabelle Creation was actually really good. So I'm glad the director is going back to horror.
There you
He's
go.
probably going to be doing Megan 2 or M3gan.
I like Megan
as well.
I'm sorry, say that again, Larry.
As well.
No, but he said one of his things is he's got plans to work with James Wan again on something he can't really talk about. He can't really announce yet. So, and it's not a Universal. It's not a Warner's. It's through Atomic Monster. So it's probably I like Megan or M3gan. Yeah, like if they make a third one.
Okay. So, Jay, what would you rate Shazam: Fury of the Gods?
I would give it a 4 out of 5. Granted, I wasn't expecting much. I did have a good time watching it for the most part.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oscar, what would you rate it?
Same thing. For the same reasons.
There you go. I give it a 3 out of 5, just because it was definitely much better than I was thinking it was going to be. However, story wise, it just doesn't quite do it for me. Like the pieces don't fit together. It feels pretty like disparate, and the parts that are good, and the parts that are bad. So it's like, it's like I can't give a high score to a movie like that. So I just give it a 3.
Now, you guys all watched the first movie, so you knew like you had some sort of expectations, right? Like
Yes, lowered expectations.
Yeah. Okay.
I honestly like the every trailer I saw. I felt as though this movie was going to be worse than the first one, and it wasn't. At least not wholly. So
Yeah, look, the
even
trailers made it seem like I think we all said this the first time. The worst part of the movie was Zachary Levi, whatever, and the trailers made it seem like we were just gonna get more of that.
we did.
Yeah.
That's the messed up part. We did though, and that's like it's not full on like Guardians. Like they didn't go like full on like how Guardians did with like everything I disliked about the first one. They like amped up to like 10 in the second one. But there's a little bit of that in there where this is like, like somehow he felt like what won people over that first time was him. And you when you look at it, like Billy Batson isn't in this movie a lot. Like Freddie Freeman gets more screen time than he does. And so, it's just like, which is a shame because Billy Batson is great. Like that
No, Freddie Freeman's really good too, though. Like when somebody does
I agree.
with him, like you could literally, like, if they're actually grooming him just like that goddess was grooming him, like if they're grooming that character to be the next round, like what they go with, like I can see that. Like, I mean, there's a John Winnick story where that was the case, where he was like the main Captain Marvel, and he had trials and all the trials of Shazam. Like that was a really good story, and it was like, especially, it is a little dated because it came out like during like the Iraq War and stuff, and he had to go find Hercules to get his power. They had to best him at something, and Hercules was in the front lines in Iraq. Yeah, so
Wow.
yeah, shit like that. Yeah, Achilles like in Afghanistan. So he's like, so you have to beat him at his own game, like actually learn from them to earn their power. And those are good. Like, I mean, that's really good Freddie Freeman story. Yeah.
No, I mean, the Freddie Freeman Captain Marvel Jr. dynamic in the movie is really good, and so I wouldn't mind if they tried to spin those two off specifically because they're good. Also, too, I should mention, because Terry Claude did mention at a point earlier too about the cameo that they spoiled in the commercial with Wonder Woman, and I don't know that I get it personally. I don't know if I'm alone in this, but I feel like based on what was happening up until that point, it felt like that was a move where they were like, we kind of want to entice people to come into the theater to watch it, and I think that probably worked. Like I think there are people that would not have went to go see it that went to go see it because of that Wonder Woman cameo. But the cameo was terrible. Like it was basically like it's like it was the inverse of what happens with the whole Crisis on Infinite Worlds thing with Supergirl. It was that, where you're like, oh, you see Supergirl on the Flash, you're like, oh, that chick can act, like she just needs good writing. This was the opposite, where it was like, oh, no, we all knew, Gal Gadot was great.
Well, it seems,
but her writing in this was terrible. Like that whole scene was just like contrived. Huh?
Where they actually put her is it feels forced. Like the scene, the whole scene seems a little bit out of place. Like if she should have came in. I guess this is spoiler free here. Well, not spoiler free.
But earlier,
yeah. Like the scene before that scene, would have had a little bit more impact. It would have made more sense. Like, I didn't make it in time.
Absolutely.
It comes off more like a joke, and it's that same criticism I have of a lot of movies is they sacrifice an impactful moment to make a joke.
It was terrible, and I'm just like, man, that's unfortunate because this is not Gal Gadot's fault. Like,
I'll tell you what, the other Gal Gadot scene did make me laugh a little bit.
Listen, I thought that was
that scene, like.
No, like no,
I can't.
You just gotta go
No,
see it.
come on! Like
I've already said too much.
No, we said spoilers.
I'll say this: it's a date scene.
Don't say that. Tell me the fucking scene.
She's on a date with Shazam.
With Levy?
Yeah.
I'm out.
It's a dream. He's having a dream.
Also, it's like the piss.
It's like the whole movie. The whole movie, he keeps mentioning Gal Gadot because he's obsessed with Wonder Woman. Well, not Gal Gadot, like Diana with Wonder Woman. He keeps mentioning her. And Brad's like, dude, why are you so fucking obsessed with Wonder Woman? And then that leads to the.
So, can we all agree that the weirdest thing about the Shazam movies is how they treat the DC universe, where like they hate these heroes and everything, but they have merch, like licensed merch.
Listen, I don't know what they're doing over there. Listen, it's all strange. I don't get it. I don't know. Like, listen, you all know me. Like, I'm not gonna try to figure it out. So, look, I'm keeping my fingers crossed for whatever it is that James Gunn is gonna do, and hopefully it'll feel like
he's gonna do what you he's gonna Guardians up.
Guardians it up.
Yeah.
I mean, people keep saying that Shazam is done, but don't forget, James Gunn's wife shows up to recruit him to the Justice Society.
That's true. Well, I mean,
that's James Gunn's wife?
Yeah, I know that's James Gunn's wife. I saw that part on the internet, but
yeah, she shows up to recruit him into the Justice Society. So I don't know how much power she has over James Gunn, but usually the wives have a lot of power. And she's in a lot of his projects.
James Gunn is also not a buff person. So you know what his priorities are.
He listens.
Yeah.
Yeah, got it. Okay.
So maybe not another Shazam movie, but you might see Levy show up again.
That's even worse.
Yeah. Well,
like
have him show up in Peacemaker.
Can we
just Levi and Peacemaker buddy show?
Nah, that would ruin Peacemaker.
Well, listen, I will say this. Shazam probably fitting into the Peacemaker aesthetic or whatever, like what they got going on there. He might be okay. Like, actually, especially like, I'd
rather have the Billy Batson kid with Peacemaker, and Peacemaker 100%. Like trying to teach him.
Hey.
But having to like watch what he says because it's a kid.
That kid can be in whatever he wants to be in, as far as I'm concerned. Like, this fool could be Billy Batson in the next Spider-Man movie, as far as I'm concerned. Like, I'm good. I'm good with it. I'm like, you know what? Let's give it a chance. Hold on. Let's give this a shot. Oh man. So, and Mo, finally, what do you rate the review?
The review, I would give you a review of 5 out of 5. Because I definitely I had apprehensions about the movie, and I kind of had an inkling to see it, but hearing you guys talk about it, it's like, you know what, I'm probably gonna see it. Like, I'm still fighting with myself about it in my head, because I love this character, and that casting alone is shitting on the character, and what they chose to do with the movie, and even what they chose to do in the comics. Like, I was just as angry at the New 52 Captain Marvel as I was at the movie, and that's what they're kind of basing it on. So it's like, you take a character I like or love, and you fuck it up. And so here I am, my Shazam, my Captain Marvel, and they call him Captain Marvel, is Elvis. Because the whole movie is him emulate, because Elvis was a shy guy. So when he goes on stage, he's like Shazam, and he fucking becomes fucking Elvis, and can shake his pelvis and make women come. And
Tom Hanks is Merlin.
Well, and he's the Dr. Savannah. Like, that's the whole thing. It's like, imagine a Shazam movie, but it's like Dr. Savannah giving you the origin and how he kind of manipulated him and hated him, and really was a villain that he could never beat, and telling you how he did that. That's what the Elvis movie is, and literally you're watching him destroy Elvis for the entire movie, And you see,
Feel
like,
good movie as a summer.
like he's the kid that gets the power, and he just keeps grinding them down till he just hates himself and he can't be himself, can't even enjoy his power, you know. And that movie, I mean, it's a great movie for that reason. Like, it's made. That's why when Tiger Claw said, like, oh, maybe a superhero fatigue. Fuck you. Because that Elvis movie is a superhero movie in terms of formula or aesthetic or execution, and it's not even about a fucking superhero. Like, they told you a story about a biopic of somebody, and we all know his story, we all know his music, but they gave it to you in a superhero way. You know, that's what made that movie fucking good. And yeah, so don't give me that bullshit about no superhero fatigue. So definitely, like, I'm still fighting with myself to watch it, but because of you guys, like, the going to watch it, and now hearing Gal Gadot, like, I might have to.
I can tell you this: I enjoyed watching this more than I did Quantumania.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it was better than Quantumania.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong.
Quantumania is the Thor 1 of this run, this phase, but in the sense that you're gonna appreciate it later on. Yeah, but
we'll see. But I know that what I will say is, it's like one of those things where, like, I came away from this, feeling better about having watched it than I did that movie.
Okay.
And with the exception of like Jonathan Majors is better than everything that happens in.
Yeah.
But
he has to be, because he's got to be in every other movie or
right.
another section.
Right. But,
so he's got to hold down the whole thing.
Yeah, but it's like one of those things where it's like
they should put Kang in Shazam.
That would have been pretty awesome. But yeah, I definitely I would have felt the same way like I do about Billy Batson and Spider-Man. I thought, oh man, let's see where this goes real quick. Let's see what this Kang's gonna do here. You guys is insight, Jay, like the way he explained the Freddie Freeman, like even if he was disparaging a disabled citizen, I still makes me want to watch it a little more than not want to watch it. And I was on the fence to begin with, so it's like, yeah, I already know I don't like what they do with it. Like, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna hate it more, but it's like, then it's like, nah, but I like this character. I'd rather just watch something done right, and then I'm like, that might never happen. So I would feel much better about telling somebody that you should give this movie a chance than the first one.
Yeah, I had people offer me to buy the Blu-ray of the first one, and I've said, like, don't waste your money. Like, I'm just gonna throw it in the garbage. I'm not gonna watch it. So,
I forget. Did you see the first one?
No, I never seen the first one. Yeah. Like, no, my clients, like 3 of them offered me. I think Larry was there when one of them did it, where they offered, I'm gonna buy you for your birthday. I'm gonna get you the Blu-ray so you can watch it. Like, no, it's not accessibility. I'm not gonna watch it. Like, you give it to me, I'm gonna throw it in the garbage. Like, it's gonna be $30 wasted for you.
The movie's okay. I can understand you not getting over the fluffy suits.
The fluffy suits, but also it's like even the whole like newer 52 Shazam, like that's not the story that I liked. Like they revamped it, they modernized it, and it's like that story technically should be timeless because it's really like a king in King Arthur's court, or was it a Yankee in King Arthur's court? Like it's essentially that, but it's just not, so it's, but they modernized it and then they changed the personality and they got the bad cast. Like, there's no reason for me to watch it at all if I ever had any kind of esteem or a love for OG Captain Marvel. Yeah.
Well, we should move on to
we should.
Also,
no, more about gel coat.
When the fourth round will...
Don't you call it?
does it look good already? Okay. Jumbo Scampi. For limited.
All right, Superman and Lois. Season 3 started a couple weeks back. Mo, you feel up to telling us about Superman?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, I've never watched any of it other than the first like 2 episodes, and then this episode. So,
okay.
What I can tell you is that this is one of these stories that, when we talk about not in universe, like it spawned from a universe that you're familiar with, and then at the end of season 2, you realize it's not in universe, or you had an inkling and then confirmed at the end of season 2, according to my research. And yeah, season 3 just came out, and it's the story of Superman battling his biggest hurdle, Lois and his kids, like his managing life of parenthood, and the show is basically like one of the kids has powers, the other doesn't, and he's got to deal with teenage hormones and powers. So, and on top of that, like world-ending threats and people deciding that he's not fit to like save the world, even though they're not even from this world, and they just gunning for him. So, and then on top of that, now he's got to deal with Intergang season 3. That's the big thing here. It's like Intergang's out. Was it Bruno Mannheim is out, and Adam Man and shit, and then his kid is like learning that he can actually make a difference. But even like, if this was like Smallville and it was just about the kid, you didn't have to deal with Superman. Like this show would still be good, because his kid's over here, like people are playing beer pong and they're trying to fuck him up, and he's like, well, I can't just fight these people because they're drunk and I'm not drinking, and I can collapse their whole lungs with like a pinky, like, and he's showing some restraint. Like he's like, I thought this kid by this, after watching like the first episode, second episode, third episode a little bit, and then jumping here, I thought he'd be a villain by now. Like I think the series would end with Superman killing his own kid, but no, it's actually. It just came. It's giving you a really good, like, almost character study, which is something that like CW and even a lot of these fucking like comic book adaptations, whether it's MCU, or they kind of lack a little bit of, like they kind of just give you these weird, almost superficial stories. There's a little depth and a little bit of moments here, but this show actually gives you a little bit more depth, and I think that's part of it. Part of it, its appeal to me, which means that it's probably going to get canceled after this season.
There it is.
Fuck it.
Oz, you've been watching Superman and Lois consistently, right? Until now?
Yeah.
So you're like all caught up?
Yeah.
Okay. So what's your take on this new season?
Episode we've only had the first episode, and it's just setting up the world in the aftermath of season 2. For those of you that didn't see season 2, Earth and Bizarro Earth were like being merged, and big world ending stuff. Superman saves the day, yay! And
So
Mo actually, for somebody for not watching the first episode, described it pretty well. He's training his son, the wrong one, Jordan. Well,
Wait, why the wrong one?
Because his son is Jonathan. Like now he's got a second son. All of a sudden, it's weird. And yeah, they gave him 2 sons, Jordan and Jonathan.
Yeah.
And they couldn't even give the powers to the one that has the same name as his actual son in the comic books.
But that's the beauty of it being like Elseworlds. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. But I did like.
Here's the thing. This is a dilemma that Superman never in any like thing. He's only just had like one kid, or he's been an only child, and it's like now he's got to pick. Like, okay, which one's my favorite? And one of them actually has his powers. and the other one doesn't. So it's like that's a good dilemma for Superman in and of itself.
And it's actually shown really well because he's training the kid, and the kid's doing a decent job. He's not bad at it, and then something happens where Superman's on his way to save people from dying, and he sees his son beat him to it because he was closer or whatever, and tries to stop things from going bad and just fucks things up because he has no experience.
Yeah.
Like he's only like had to like punch a dude once that was gonna kill his family. Like he doesn't know what he's doing, and he fucked up. He doesn't know physics or anything, and he has to punish his kid. That at the same time, at some point, he's gonna depend on to come help him because he's the other superpowered person in the family.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting too because that scene.
Did you guys watch episode 2 at all, or no? Or am I the only one that watched the second episode?
That just came out today.
I watched it before the show.
Yeah,
and I only watched the first episode. I was gonna say that scene with him, kind of messing up with the crane thing or whatnot, had some really like cool visuals to it as well. Like just like how, Superman coming in and kind of like saving the day, and it just kind of showed like not only like how much better at being a superhero Superman is than the kid that is new, but also too they even managed to put like a little bit of drama in it. You know what I'm saying? Which I was just like, oh, like that's very cool. Like it was, yeah. You're like, oh, Superman looked like he's about to get hurt, but he didn't.
One of the things I like about how this show is written is, just little details where he could be an angsty teen about it and just be angry, but they still give you that moment where he's talking to his brother and he's like, man, I was there and dad got mad because he said I fucked it up and blah blah. His brother's like, did you fuck it up? Well, yeah, like they like once
I like the line. I like the line because they're actually having separate problems, those brothers. Like one's learning to drive and he's like, well, you should listen to him, he has more experience at flying. And he goes, well, yeah, you should listen to mom, she's got more experience at driving.
Right.
So, and it's like those two brothers couldn't be so like they could easily be disconnected, but they're not. And it's like that's kind of what you want for Superman's kids. It's like they're almost the ideal kids in a weird way, and they're still normal kids that fuck up and do shit, but they're still the ideal kids. And even in their interaction, like the whatever feelings or rivalry they might have for one not having what the other has, like they still manage to get through it. And it's like,
right.
I know Berlanti is just like a figurehead credit on here. I know he has got nothing to do with it.
It's too good to be Berlanti.
You don't have the person at the desk.
Well, they do, and she's even good. At the Gazette.
Yeah. Jay, what do you think of Lois? Like this episode 1 of this new season?
It was okay. There was a lot of stuff happening that I didn't know anything about. But some of it they give context. But some of it is like just strange. And
what? Maybe I can help you out.
Okay, the strangest thing to me was Lois being surprised at the thought that she might be pregnant. It's like, I thought like if you have sex, you realize that there's a chance of pregnancy. And she just seems like absolutely gobsmacked that might be a thing that's happening to her. So that was confusing to me.
I could probably help Jay with this one, but Oz has been watching it, so I have my take on it from watching the first episodes. if you see that review. So I can do that.
I thought you were gonna make a joke about super speed and pulling out. Like that was where
no,
I was like, you're like, come on, man. Come on, you're the fastest man out here.
One of my criticisms from the first episode when it first came out is like, this looks like Ma Kent, not Lois Lane. You know, like she looks too old
because she's in menopause.
Well, and the show actually says that. Like even Superman's like, well,
is she in menopause?
No, but he thought like that she would be by now, because he's like, I thought we're done with that. That's why I just went with it. You know. So and that adding that is a great touch to the show, because while it was a criticism for me in season 1, and it was like, it's misogynistic, it's boorish, piggish, but they still addressed it because the dude looks in shape and looks like Superman in his prime, and she's had 2 kids that are teenagers. So but they addressed it, and then they addressed it here. So I'm like, man, that literally, like, the one complaint I had from the first 2-3 episodes, they fixed here when I'm watching again. And that, to me, this is as good as a comic for me, because while there was stuff going on that I didn't know a lot about, I can jump in. And that was one of my things. Like when Oz said, like, can we review this? I'm like, yeah, like if it's good like how it's supposed to be good, I feel like I could jump in. And literally, like from where I left off, I jumped in, and they still addressed the thing that I didn't like when I jumped in.
I see his point, because Lois Lane does not have kids young. I mean, she had a career when she meets Clark, and they're 16, 17 years old. So she's got to be somewhere in her mid 40s, and that point, I wouldn't say menopause necessarily.
No, but she could have had them at 35, 38. You know,
I'm giving her credit and saying, late 20s.
Yeah, but no, I'm speaking from my own experience. Like my mom was 35 when she had me. She was 38 when she had my sister. Like my mom don't look like Lois Lane. You know what I mean? She looked like Lois Lane when I was 10.
I just know past the 40s, it starts to become difficult.
Look,
so I can understand the surprise.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's not like if she hasn't actually hit menopause, which in 40s, even 50s, it seems a little early for that. Like it's not something that's out of the realm of possibility.
One of the weird things was the cancer part, which you guys haven't seen the second episode, but Emily was mad, and I was mad for a little bit, but I'll get to that part after, where it's like, why didn't Superman see that was growing inside her, and it was a tumor, not a baby? And spoilers. So
but why would he just be looking at her?
And that's the thing that like, while that Superman is buff, he's not buff like The Rock. He listens to his wife. I'm like, Superman's probably a thing. Like I've read it in comics where it happens. I think even the cartoon addressed it, where it's like, look, I know you got X-ray vision, but it can't be on me. Like treat me like, when you deal with me, Lois Lane, you got to be as human as you can, unless you have to save me, like there's been aspects when they kind of have that agreement. So it kind of made sense, but I think he still needs to do a little mammogram here and there,
just gives you a once over.
I think the Christopher Reeves movie addressed it too.
Yeah, like he gave up his powers.
She was smoking, and he looks at her. He's like, "Well, you don't have lung cancer yet," or something like that.
Yeah, and then he gave up. That movie was a little dumb too, because he gave up the power, and then she hated him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what else? How did you feel about it, Jay?
Yeah. Other than that, like, there was some stuff I didn't know, but I got the main things. Like, there was some of the people are from a different world, so the one guy isn't really the girl's uncle.
Yeah.
And Mannheim's out of jail, which correct me if I'm wrong, Manheim isn't black, is he?
He's not, but he looks more comic accurate than if they got like a Zachary Levi to play him or whoever they would have thought if they were going for a white guy.
Yeah, I did think that. Like, that was actually like a really good looking Manheim.
Wait, Mannheim is that was the dude that was from The
Tyree.
Expanse, right?
From
Tyree. Okay, yeah. Wait. He was from Walking Dead too?
He was Tyrese.
Oh yeah, got it. Absolutely right. Damn, I forgot that.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm trying to forget, but yeah.
I think of him.
I love him in everything else I see him in. Like, he's great, and it's like, why couldn't he just been a great Tyrese?
Yeah.
But
he was in The Expanse. He's really good.
He was in Arrow too.
Yeah. Yeah, he played another white mobster in Arrow too. Like, I think he's getting typecasted.
Oh, that's funny.
But speaking of the Expanse, I don't want to go on a tangent too long because Jay's got to leave at the 2-hour mark. But there's a Kickstarter. I don't know if it's still active for continuing the Expanse. And I don't know if you guys want any of that.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah. I did see that. Like, if it's still if I can find some funds for it, I might mess around and back that joint because it's such a good story, and I would love to see that in that format.
If you really like it, I might do it for you. I was thinking about it, but I haven't.
Have you watched the series?
No, I haven't. But I knew it was good when it got canceled, and the few people that I talked to that kind of had watched it, they were telling me to watch it while it was on. They're real passionate about it, and I'm like, you know what, might be something that I need to see, and then I just didn't get around.
Do any of those ships have red hair?
They all on Boom Studios. They all do.
I'm sitting here like I need to track my book. It should have been here, and it hasn't come yet. And I'm like, son of a bitch, they got me. Like, Derek H just spent my money.
Should have gone digital.
I know, right? Out here messing around with a physical copy, like, son of a bitch. But anyway, okay. Back to Superman and Lois. So I mean, Mo, you've the furthest in so far, obviously, since you watched the second episode.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts in regards to, or hopes for where the season is going? Like, does it strike you as are there things that you're like hoping to see before this season is done?
I wouldn't say hoping to see, but I would like to be in on the ride. So I think I think I'm gonna have to binge, not this weekend because we're at WonderCon, and subscribe, like, hit the bell. We're gonna be giving you content probably live from WonderCon. So,
live.
Yeah. So definitely tune. Be ready for that. But maybe one of these weekends that I'm off or have an extra day. I'm thinking of taking an extra day off after WonderCon, so I might do that and kind of catch up because I liked it from the start. It was a good show, and I'm like, I'm just gonna wait because the CW app does a weird thing where it'll give you like 4 episodes, and then when the 5th one's ready, it'll delete the other one, and I could just skip one. Like, it's fine. But, a lot of CW stuff, well, it used to be where, like, the day after the finale, the whole series was available on Netflix. So it's like, I'll just wait for that. And then, I waited and waited. And even Emily's like, oh, man, like, she goes, what are you watching? I'm like, Superman and Lois. And then she's like, oh, we never kept watching it, huh? I'm like, no. And, yeah, I could see she kind of thought that I kept watching it without her. But that wasn't the case. I'm like, I'm just jumping in, I'm where you're at. And so, she enjoyed it clearly to some extent, and I enjoyed it. So I'm definitely in for the ride. Like, I this is where, like, it not being like the comics pays off, because it's something the comics isn't giving you. Like, even the way they handle Superman with a kid is not how this does it. This does it more for, like, you have to connect with him as a parent or connect with the kid as a kid to do it. Whereas in the comics, you're watching Superman, you know how amazing he is, and you know his kid's gonna be amazing, and it's like, yeah, they'll just do a time jump to when the kid's, big. There's not a lot of trials with it. Like even Batman's kid, like he's got a real kid. It's like, oh my god, this is the time where Batman should feel fear, and then they just make his kid. It's like his kid's even more dangerous than he is.
Right, exactly. Right. It's true.
That's like, and you don't get
nobody ever worries about David.
You don't get that like deconstructive superhero with that's part of having a secret identity. The reason is you don't want your kids hurt, and that would it make an interesting story. But I think that story in particular is more interesting in TV than it is in comic books. So, and I think this is where the dude I wrote down the guy's name and I left my fucking Post-it on the toilet. But the dude, the showrunner, because he decided, like, I think it was his decision to step away from the Arrowverse so that he could do the story he wanted to do. And I'm like, yeah, this is it. Like, this is the deconstruction of Superman as a parent, as a family man, and and this dude, this swarthy Superman that I hated when I first saw, is doing it so well. Like, everybody is like just acting, like, and the dude from the X-Men, like he's good, So when I saw him in there, I'm like, I'm in. They're not afraid to do the costumes, but they don't have to do them all the time either. So it's like it just works. Like, so it looks grounded enough where they can really just focus on the story, but give you the comic booky stuff that you like. It's perfect balance for me. So I definitely like. Hey, like I know I'm going long-winded for your question. I have no hope for it, but I'm gonna enjoy every second as I go with it. I think it's good enough that it's going to get canceled.
How about you, Oz? Like being somebody that you've been watching and you've come through these past 2 seasons. How do you feel about the premiere of season 3, and does it feel like it's going in a good direction to you?
I think it's a good start. Like I said, most of the episode 1 is kind of setting up the world after what happened in season 2, and letting you know where everybody's at and what's not just Superman and his family, but the other characters, Lana Lang and her husband, and what's going on there, and all that. It's good setup. They don't spend like too much time on that. Like you still get the Superman saving people mixed in with him, his problems with his kid. So they're able to kind of balance it out just right. And I have a lot more confidence in what's that?
What did you say, Jay?
You also get Beppo's one night stand.
The one night stand.
So I have a lot more confidence in the writers of this show than Gotham Knights, which I think episode 2 just came out too. So yeah,
gotta go check that out.
Yeah,
the Court of Owls with those beaks, man. They got those beaks. So Jay, is it fair to say that episode 1 didn't necessarily, bowl you over with how good it is?
No, it didn't bowl me over.
Okay.
And I would definitely say, because I hate the CW app so much, I probably will not continue watching.
Well, let's say it was on Amazon, Jay. If it was on Amazon, would you continue watching?
On Prime, yeah. Like,
okay,
if it was on Prime or on HBO Max, I would probably keep watching.
Okay. It'll be so that deal they used to have with Netflix, now they have with HBO Max. I wish they would just have it like how the TBS does it, where they just give you some of that stuff. But no, I think with CW stuff, you have to wait till the end.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for that and Gotham Knights, because I do kind of want to keep watching that, but not enough to go on the CW.
Did you like Gotham Knights more or Superman and Lois season 3 more?
Unfair comparison because I really am getting dropped into a whole bunch of stuff. Superman and Lois. So it like with Gotham Knights, I'm there at the beginning where everything is happening, so I'm a little more invested there.
Gotcha.
As opposed to where Superman and Lois, like, a world-changing event happened, and that was another thing. The episode they do like a little kind of a recap of things that happened, and I swear to fuck, this was the most useless recap I've ever seen. Like, it tells you nothing. Like, literally nothing.
Look, it's so funny that you say that.
Characters, huh?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
What'd you say?
You keep going, Jay. I'm sorry.
No, it was just like the characters, and they'll say like a random thing to each other that just sounds like normal conversation, and they're like playing it like it's important, and it's like no, she just said hi. Like, what? Why is that? Like, recap, and like recap like what the world-ending event was. Like what? Like something to get me into it, and it's just like just random characters saying hello to each other, and it was like, man, it was like just
had the new
fucking useless. It didn't help at all. Say again?
You had the new Fortress of Solitude being created.
No. Really,
I thought that was
it's so
in the
funny
episode.
Oh, that might have been.
It happened.
No, that was
No,
last season.
No, it happens at the end. It's at the end of the recap. But the funny part is, I had the same thought process that Jay did, but I felt differently about it only because there was a part of me that was like, I know they're going to recap the season, and like I didn't watch season 2, and I kind of want to watch it, but they're going to spoil it for me. And then I was watching this recap, and I basically had the same thought process that Joe did, except that I was like, oh, cool. Like, the only thing I know is at the end, there's a Fortress of Solitude that he made for the whole family. That's it. Like, because everything else, I was just like, I don't know what that, like, it was 100% like, I'm not, like, I know something happened. I'm not sure what it was. Like, look, when you said today, Oz Bizarro World, I was like, oh, Bizarro World happened? Like, the recap don't say jack about Bizarro World. It just says that, and then at the beginning of the episode, I think Lois says that, that they saved 2 worlds. And I was just like, oh, okay, I guess there must have been, I don't know what was happening. Like, I don't know if it was like 2 worlds like trying to smash into each other, or if it was like some parallel universe stuff. And then I realized that, okay, there is people here from what seems some sort of alternate reality or something. So I'm like, okay, I'm getting that. But it like Jay hit it spot on, where I was like that recap. If you didn't watch that season, you don't know what's happening in there, except for I got a family Fortress of Solitude now. And I'm like, how's everybody get there? like can they only go with the superpower people because everybody got to get flown over there? Like, I don't know. Like, it's like, okay, it's a family Fortress of Solitude, but you got to come with us. Otherwise, you got to charter your own jet to Antarctica.
Well,
like,
look, I agree. It's all about family.
All right.
By the way, did you realize that that one guy was Steele and his daughter.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did. Yeah, and that's where I was like a little. That's not like the comics, because like the
That's not like the comic.
female Steel is like his niece, right? So it's not his daughter. So that's why I'm like, well,
They explained that in season 2.
Oh, okay.
Wait a minute now. So I knew that it was Nat was, like Steel, or I can't remember what. Well, she was the second Steel, right? Like,
Yeah,
that was her name, right? But the other dude is supposed to be John Henry Irons.
Yeah.
That John Henry Irons, they said, got killed.
Yes.
They thought he got killed. Yeah.
No, he did.
Oh.
It's parallel universes.
There's a parallel universe. That's why the guy isn't actually her uncle,
her grandfather or whatever.
And that's why they tell him, hey, you used to be her grandfather. Like, she's known you as her grandfather, and I know it's not you because different worlds and all that, but you're a dick.
I didn't know.
Yeah,
I didn't know that guy was supposed to be John Henry Irons. Like, he needs a muscle suit.
Well, yeah, no, I mean
an Iron Man suit.
Yeah, but
he listens too good. He needs to stop listening.
But yeah, like, because even like that's I guess you didn't watch the second episode, but in the second episode, like, she has the Nat or Natalie, because it's not Natasha. She has like the dude that she was with in the other world. They find for her here, and so it's like, oh, go meet him. Maybe he's cool here too, And so that's when they go to this party, which I thought was kind of like dumb and useless, but it actually was a good moment for the super team, Jordan. Like,
oh, gotcha.
Yeah, and I don't like this recast for the other kid, for Jonathan.
Oh, they recast him?
Yeah, they recast him with a nerdier looking kid instead of like the athlete looking guy. And
he doesn't look like a nerd. He looks like a cool.
No, but nerdier than the original.
Oh, what happened to the other guy?
I think he got like cancer or some shit.
No, he left, but I forgot.
He left. I was hoping it was something worth it for that horrible. It's like when you get a bad artist on a new arc of a comic. Like,
this fool got She-Hulk.
Yeah, and it was just him. It was
just him.
But he plays the part well. Like, performance wise, like he's like he it's almost seamless. But
why you gotta be ugly?
Yeah, I mean, just be less. Less ugly, like,
Look,
it's like Gonzalo Jonathan Kent.
You can't say that to his face, man. That young man is friggin' white and blonde. Like, he's never been called ugly before, man.
Yeah,
like he will break his whole world.
Yeah, the other guy just chose to leave, and for personal reasons, which usually means drugs, allegedly.
What? Why?
He left for personal reasons. And look, in Hollywood, personal reasons is, I mean, it's like when you go to the hospital for dehydration. It's always drugs.
No, it's like it's when they tell you at work, like, you should quit the drugs, but quit the work first. Yeah,
that kid could have messed around to decide he wanted to finish his education or something.
Yeah, what a fucking moron. He's on the hit TV show. A fucking moron. Like, he literally doesn't need education. Like, if this show keeps going, he could get syndication money, and he could make money off of the booths at Comic-Con for eternity. Like, he's got Shatner money. Yeah, if he just sticks with it.
Money.
Yeah. Now he's just a random Jedi from the prequels at Star Wars Celebration. Yeah.
The speculation is because it's filmed in Canada and they're really strict on vaccines. And so they think that that's what influenced his decision. So either way, it's a form of drugs. Like, vaccines are drugs too, right?
And he's an idiot.
He didn't want to take a vaccine.
Yeah.
Jeez,
We
okay,
don't know for sure. This is all speculation. Either way.
Yeah, listen, I agree. We don't know for sure.
One way or the other, it seems like
Yeah,
you're
10
up.
seconds to rate it. 10 seconds to rate. Jay, what's your rating?
3.
Cool. All right, now we can relax.
Damn you, Jay.
Was he really waiting for that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Like I got it right on time. I got it with 8 seconds to the marker, so we could get his rating.
I thought
Yeah.
if he was on after 30, it was cool. I didn't know
No.
we had to 43.
That's only if he's willing to like if he took a nap earlier in the day.
Like, love how you make Jay sound like a old aunt.
No. Look, I'm the dude. Like I nap at 4 on show days. I nap at 4 o'clock in case we go late.
Go. There you go.
Yeah, no, I'm projecting onto Jay.
All right, but look, unless y'all got something else to say about it, we probably should rate it too.
I'm mad I didn't keep watching it from the start.
No, it's a good show. It's a good show, and I'm mad I missed season 2, but I'm gonna go back and watch
Surprisingly
it.
good, like for CW. Like it's even shot like more cinematic. Like
100%.
It's
It's a
like-
different. It's a whole different type of show. It's
Yeah.
not like a CW show.
it should be like on HBO or something or FX. Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you all for your ratings, and then I want to ask you all a different question afterwards. But Oz, what would you rate?
I'm gonna
Superman
go
and Lois?
with 5 out of 5. I've been watching it since day one. I've been telling you, it's a surprisingly well written show. It's the
You
best
did tell us
written,
from day one.
the best written Superman, and I'm starting to get over the fact that what this guy looks like.
Yeah.
And accepting
Yeah,
him as
100%.
You're
true.
getting.
much like his 5 o'clock shadow, he's growing on me.
Although, like, depending, like, if you look at, like,
Swarthy ass Superman.
if you watch like a Humberto Ramos, like if you read a Humberto Ramos like Superman book, like he does have hairy arms. So
True, but I feel like that's different.
look, I'm making it comic related. I'm making it like the comics. You know?
Mo, what would you rate Superman and Lois?
I mean, like that. It's a 5. Like knowing what I know from the first few episodes, and then seeing this one, is like it's a 5. Like my regret is not watching this all the way through. And like I said earlier, like, even there's a scene, the scene where she gets told she could have cancer in the second episode. It's like they expose for the light of the window, but the window is like just jarring enough so that you can still see her face, and her face is in the shadow, and it's like, and it's a precursor for the rest of the episode because she's just like hiding, like they're having their whole issues and she's just hiding in the background, just thinking about her cancer. Even and then she puts on the poker face to talk to the family, and then and it's just a build up to when Superman finds out that she's got fucking cancer, and it's like that's the villain he can't beat. Like when he finds out, it's like, fuck, I fucked up Doomsday. I can't fuck up cancer. And this one's gonna hurt the most. Like you get that in the performance, you get that in like 3 seconds in the second episode. It's like, dude, like this isn't yeah, fuck you, Scorsese. Superhero can be cinema. Yeah, and they do it on fucking TV on a week basis. You know what I mean? And this is like, as a lover of comics, it's like, I've been telling you motherfuckers, like, this is, you can get whatever you're missing on any medium, you can get in fucking comics. You just gotta read some fucking comics. You know?
Yeah. Now, it's a great show. I give it a 5 too. Like, it's hard to deny, just because even the parts about it that I don't like, I kind of like. It's good enough to just be like, get over it. Like, so yeah, 5.
Like,
the
Adam Man fight was good, like, because it's like it could be just an easy brawl, but it ended up being a dialogue too. Like, that's what you fucking call cinema, Scorsese. Like, it's not a brawl.
It's definitely comics. I don't like. It's definitely comics. It's like it's definitely shot in a cinematic fashion. So I guess it could be both. Yeah. I'm not mad at that. What I wanted to ask you all about is happening now too, right? Is the final season of Flash. It's like, and I was just like, how are y'all feeling about that? And is that like, it, I don't know, Oz, if you've been watching Flash this entire time up until now. Like, are you current in Flash?
Yes.
Okay, so you're definitely in on the final season.
I mean, I'm watching it. I don't know what you mean by in.
You're watching it. That's all I mean. It's like you're definitely watching it.
Like,
yeah, because
yeah,
it wouldn't make sense.
Too late.
Right, exactly. It doesn't make any sense for you to stop watching Flash all of a sudden right now. And then, Mo, I know you haven't watched a season of Flash in what? How many years?
At this point, it's got to be like 6. Because they're on what, 10?
It's like 9 or 10, yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, is that true?
I mean, I'll look it up, but I'm pretty sure it's either 9 or 10.
The last I watched was the Savitar season, and that's because, I was mad about it from the beginning, but like they made Flash cool for non-Flash readers because Flash readers know how cool he can be, especially Barry Allen. So like I can see doing a Barry Allen show, even like procedural with the police shit and the superhero shit. But this is not what they did. They made Flash into Spider-Man. And then by season 4, it was Savitar. That's Kane, man. That's Web of Death from 1994. Like so it, like what the reveal was that it was actually a time clone of him. It's like that's fucking Kane. Kane is a time clone of Spider-Man from Web of Death in 1994 after the clone saga. So it's like, man, like even like working at Star Labs, like that's literally what was happening in Spider-Man week in, week out when it came out. Like that slot needs a writer credit on the first 3 seasons of Flash, So but yeah, so that I put up with it until the Savitar thing. Once that reveal came, I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna wait till they do good Spider-Man, and 10 years later they did.
It is season 9. It premiered in 2014.
Wow, that's crazy. So, Mo, like knowing that's the final season of Flash, is there any chance that you might either check out this final season or try to catch up and watch it all, like binge it later?
When was the premiere of this last season?
A couple of months ago. I can give you a date.
Okay, I might check it out. I know I wanted to jump back in like around 8 or so, because that's when Eric Wallace started writing on it, and it's like I gotta support him. He's a friend of the show.
Yeah, Eric Wallace
he's a cool dude to hang out with, and I loved Eureka, and I met him.
He's a good writer.
While he was writing Eureka, so I'm like, man, like he's a good.
And he loves that.
What he brought to the Flash, from what I saw, was this more like almost Doctor Who-y sci-fi adventure thing, which is what that show needed, because that's what it didn't take from Dan Slott. It was simplifying everything. So I don't know how good he did that, but I know like the sci-fi adventure, like that's the man, Eric Wallace. So
the season premiered in February. They're on episode 6.
Okay, yeah, I might start catching if I find the time. But
dude, what they did with Red Death. Oh
my God. Yeah.
If you were mad about Savitar, Red Death should really piss you off.
I look again. It just depends how much of a fan. Like, it's not what they did with Red Death for me. It's what they did with the Flash. Is they made him Spider-Man.
Are there any of the big bads that are happening in Flash that aren't speedsters?
No.
Okay, because I was like every big bad is a speedster, and it's like, how many seasons can you do that before you're like, okay, enough? Like, let's do something. Like, Flash has a rogues gallery.
Yeah, no, the rogues gallery like show up every now and then.
Like,
but why can't any of them be the big bad?
I think about this when I'm like wanting to write comics, and I'm like, dude, like, what if somebody just went up against Superman, but he's just a very powerful narcissist that just tells him that there's really no hope, there's no reason to do what he does, and it really, like, it just doesn't matter. Like, nothing. You're gonna beat me and you're gonna save people, but people are gonna be the same shit they are. Like, why save them?
Superman to lose hope?
Like, ultimately, you can't save them from themselves. You can save them from me, but not from themselves, you know. And
Oh,
ultimately, like Superman will overcome that, you know, because that's what it is. Unless you know, unless that's what happened in what you call it? What's that? The Mark Wade one. The what's that shit called? In
so,
incorruptible or in not incorruptible,
irredeemable.
irredeemable. You know, like
Yeah.
but you know, it's like really like yeah, like that's the villain that you get, and then same thing with like with like what if it could be like a dude that just made a airborne carbohydrate that would just clog like Barry Allen's arteries. You know, like it'll just stress him out to the point where his cortisol levels can't pump blood or oxygenate his blood in time. You know, like just thicken it a little bit. You know, just localized air pressure around him, you know, like and then, you know, you got to get creative with these people, and that's the problem with DC, I think, too, where it's like it's you know, it shows in the movies where it's like, okay, you got Shazam, you got to get the Daughters of Atlas, but what if you get the one that comes after? What if like Freddy Krueger comes while Billy Batson is sleeping? You know what I mean? Like that's like while he's actually afraid and feels vulnerable, and you could really like just attack him there. You know, like what if Michael Jackson came after Billy Batson? You know what I mean? So shit like
Chris
that. You know, like
Jackson.
that's what I think about. Like when it's like if I'm gonna write a comic, I would do that. But ultimately, that's only going to be good for an arc. Then what do I got to decide? I don't do it because then I got to do it the next arc.
Oh, hey, you don't have to do
I don't have to do anything.
ongoing.
No, again, that's my own supervillain. I don't have to do anything because it doesn't matter.
I'm just saying
People are gonna shit on your comic no matter how creative it is.
That's true, but you
Yes,
know, you could do a limited. You could do a limited series.
I could just have the fan fiction in my head. I'm good with that. And I'll have the
Yeah.
fans in my head too.
Man, that's interesting. Yeah, I think I would like to. I mean, if I could catch up, which I've definitely, you know, I've watched more of Flash than you have, but you know, I didn't realize it was like this is season 9. Like, I don't think I saw the last 2 seasons at all.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's a lot of Flash to catch up on. Is whatchamacallit still on the show? Oh, damn it. His wife.
Yes.
Flash's wow. She hung in there, huh?
She's his lightning rod.
She's gonna have a prime booth at every comic convention in the country. She's gonna make a living $80 a signature, at least 15 of those a day for the rest of her fucking life. Unlike that dude that played Jonathan Kent that left her didn't want to get a little prick. Instead, he acted like a little prick.
Just angry at him for no reason.
You know, it's just stupid reason. Like, like a career, man. Like, how you gonna like the show is actually good? How you gonna give up that? Like, you're gonna have a career from this show. Like, literally, if it's just signing pictures of yourself, you're gonna have a fucking career. It's like the dude that left the Beatles and Ringo came in. Like Pete Best. Like, you know, he's like, I don't want to wear leather jackets. Like, you know, we all wear leather jackets. And he's like, I don't like leather jackets. And then Ringo came in, like, I'll wear the leather jacket, fuck it. You know? Then the Beatles blow up and it's like they go into suits and change their hair. They get and the Beatles become the fucking Beatles. Pete Best is like, I was 1 week away from them giving up on those leather jackets.
Oh, that's too funny, man. So, all right, cool, man. All right. Anything else before we get out of here today?
I want to answer Tiger Claw's question. It says, Moses, you're gonna watch, review Agent Elvis when it comes out on Netflix? And I probably will not. I don't think Agent Elvis is Elvis being like the secret agent type guy, like because you know that happened it didn't happen in the movie Elvis, but in real life where he got deputized by as a DEA agent or something from by Nixon and to stop drugs in like Tennessee. And so Elvis was like, "Oh, I'm Sheriff Elvis now," shit like that. Like everybody loved Elvis to the point where they just catered to his bullshit. Like, I want to be a black belt, and then somebody gave him a black belt. Like, oh yeah,
Be a black belt.
yeah. So he was Karate Master Elvis for a while, and so this show is actually making fun of that. But for me, it's a serious thing. Like, we're having a lot of problem with meth heads here, and part of it is because Nixon treated the marijuana with severity, but yet deputized Elvis. So Nixon made it so that the UN would categorize marijuana higher than heroin and meth and coke and everything, like as a danger to the planet. And because of that, we can't actually legalize marijuana even federally. And because it's like now we have to fight against the UN to do it federally because of Nixon. So when it came to LA, like what they did is just they decriminalized everything, so that now you can get caught with meth and everything, and you don't get a felony like you used to, just so that I can go buy a vape at my local law-abiding, tax-paying, properly coded and permitted dispensary, and I can grow my own as well. And now we're having problems. Like I decided to cheat on my diet, and I went to Jack in the Box, and I got two motherfuckers smoking in the fucking dining room, meth, and I'm like,
of Jack in the Box?
Of Jack in the Box, and I'm like,
oh wow.
I'm sitting there like I smell a weird smell, but I'm like, it's Jack in the Box, like it's probably just the meat. And I'm like, I turn around because I'm like, what the fuck? And I see this cloud of smoke, and then I start feeling the effects of it. Hey, look, I'm no saint. My brain knows what to do when that shit hits your lungs, right? So
right.
I wanted to put out that fire, and I wanted to do it with a fucking fire extinguisher to their fucking head. But then I'm the problem. You know what I mean?
Man.
I call the fucking police. They say, "Oh, you're the second person that called. We're gonna send somebody over now." Just because I was the second person to call, And I'm like, I my little dude clients in the neighborhood, like they go eat Jack in the Box 3 times a week because they're in a shitty family. They got to put up with that motherfucker. Like it'd be easy. I'd be doing the world a disservice if I cut his fucking head off. But then I'm the problem,
Yeah.
And it's like, and then I had to deal and then finish my work while having essentially high on meth, and I hate it. I hate meth. So, so it's like, I gotta
look.
So I like the fact that you can joke about Agent Elvis on Netflix is a fucking insult to me as a naturalist cannabis user for medicinal and recreational purposes. Like it's just
and it is a comedy.
Yeah, it's a comedy, and it's making fun of Nixon's rule, but nobody they're making fun of it, but nobody's doing nothing to change it. Like the Brittany Griner chick, we couldn't help her because of that. People in jail now, we can't help them because of that UN rule. We can't even, as a country, federally tax it properly because of that fucking rule that Nixon did. And it was all just to get Mexicans deported. And jazz musicians to not play at certain venues. Yeah.
Crazy. All right.
Yeah. And so that we make, use wood lumber instead of hemp lumber. But, this isn't that show.
Indeed. All right. Let's do some final thoughts.
I think I just gave mine.
Okay. Can you play the music?
Yeah.
Or do I need to play it? Thank you. All right. Thank you for your final thoughts. Oscar, final thoughts.
The Card season 3 is still good, and I know Jay watches the parts of the show he's not on, so I think he would be interested to, or feel better about the show because apparently Picard is really good at speaking to Joran. So he obviously does spend a lot of time on Bajor, which I think was like one thing he hated about the show.
Is there a new episode of that?
There's a new season,
like the 5th or 6th episode already.
No, I know there's a new season. I'm asking about like the last. I thought that it was done. Is it not done?
No, it's 10. Each season is this season is 10 episodes. I think they're like on 5 or 6.
Okay, like I know like a new episode didn't come out last week, so
It did.
I just thought it was done. So, but if there's a new episode, I want to make sure I go check it out because I like this season.
Those first 2 episodes of this last season are like a bomb ass Star Trek movie. Like, those 2 episodes just work really, really well together.
Episode 6 is tomorrow, and the guy making it, Matalis, he basically wanted to make Star Trek movies. They gave him 10 episodes, so he made a trilogy of movies.
Oh,
so,
nice.
yeah, when you see episode 4, it feels like you just finished watching a movie, and then the last like 10 minutes would be the setup for the next movie.
Nice.
It's definitely this season is definitely very cinematic. So that's good to know.
This is what it should have been from the beginning, but you get what you get.
I like the first 2 seasons of Picard a lot.
And you have that dog in the first season.
No, that's not like. But here's the thing: it's like it makes more sense that like that you don't go and start off with all of this that's happening. Like it's like I kind of feel like if we started off with him in his chateau and then we get to where we are now, I'm like, dude, I feel like this fool's out of his depth. But now it's like, oh no, he's been doing some stuff the last couple of years. He's like, I'm all right.
But he's fucking Picard. Watch TNG. He knows what he's doing. Watch the movie.
No, I'm not.
Who's been out there?
I'm not saying he's not capable. What I'm saying is especially since he's been sitting at the chateau for a while, an adventure to knock the rust off doesn't hurt. Why he got to be in the chateau? Why can't he just be Admiral Picard about to retire when suddenly he gets this message? Listen, that's not how the story was written. That's how it should have been. That's what I'm saying. Oh, okay. That's how this season started. He's finally decided to retire, and he gets this message. Boom, season takes off. It was like, this fool don't retire. He's like, I'm gonna retire. He's like, oh, back into action. You know why? It's like he says in one of the episodes, the Federation is family. He did say that. He's like, it's all the family I need. All right. For the entire
one more final thought. Willow season 1 ended, and then Willow season 2 got canceled. You're not getting season 2. So you're welcome. And if you need other Disney series canceled, let me know.
Yeah, I liked Willow too. Messed up. No, you didn't watch it.
It wasn't about family, so it's canceled.
It actually
was literally about
family.
Literally.
Like there's people in it with 501 genes,
Listen, all genes are is cotton. Stop it.
That stitching you can't get in the woods unless you have an industrial machine with a little Chinese kid doing it.
They got magic. Listen, okay. For the entire Fantastic Four, thank you all so much for hanging out with us. We do appreciate you. Please hit us with some feedback. Hit us on our social media. Let us know what you like, what you don't like, what you want to see more of. We got a Discord. You can go. Oh well, actually, yeah, you can go to fantasticforum.live to get into the Discord. Right?
Yeah, you just got to update the Discord link every 3 days.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, so hopefully you can go to fantasticforum.live and we'll let you into Discord. If not, you just hit us on social. You'll get into Discord if you want to do that. We would love for you to hang out and talk to us there too. So until next week, we're the Fantastic Forum. Good night.